Come on in the room, y'all. You know what time it is. In the room. It's a Thursday. And you got Miss V and I got my crew with me. We ready? I hope you ready for me. Turn on the football and watch it, but just listen to us. We got some good stuff that's coming to you, and I promise you, just keep on listening. If we don't get you this time, we'll get you next time. So just keep on coming in and talking to us, and I appreciate you. And I want to say that before we do anything is to just thank you for taking the time to sit and just sit with us, listen to us talk, and feedback if you want to. And prayerfully, we give you something to challenge you to think. You don't have to sit, you don't have to listen, and you don't even have to turn in your dial. But just because you did, we want to thank you and appreciate you for coming in. And you know what? You're going to make us a household name.
Oh,
Everybody
yes.
going to know Miss V and the crew.
Yes.
So before we get started, we're going to bring them to you because they sitting here, they ready, they all excited. They was here before I was. They was on point trying to get it right.
Yes, we was. Yes, we was.
Where's Lawanda? I'm back at you. I'm glad to see you came in and that you're chiming in with us and that I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy what we have to talk about. And we just hope that you get something out of it because we just love what we're doing, like Ms. V said. We love what we're doing and we thank you for making us a household name.
Right. Well. It is me, Tempest. How are you all doing out there today? I miss you guys. I was out on last week and I'm back on today. Just ready and excited to talk about the good stuff we're about to talk about. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy our conversations. And we definitely want you guys to call in and talk to us. You could call us at 708 223 8953. Okay. So, y'all call in, chat with us. And as they said, thank you all for making us a household name. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. We just talking.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to talk about is it from being a household, from being a side chick to a main chick, is that possible? Can you go from one to the next? And if you can that relationship last? Or will you trust him or her when they start doing the same like activities or doing similar things that you saw them doing when you was the side chick or you was the side dude? When you see them start doing those same kind of actions or things like that, can you still trust them or can it last? Do you think the trust issue is going to be there or will it last?
Right. What are your thoughts, people? What are your thoughts? Well, for me, I don't think it would last. That's just how I feel. If it was me, I feel like it wouldn't last because like you said, certain characteristics that person will have, well, just say a male, because I'm a woman, right? Certain characteristics that male will have. I knew you was doing that when I was the side chick. So of course, every little thing you do, I'm gonna be like, you talking to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be able to trust you. I'm gonna have trust issues. Then those trust issues gonna turn to anxiety and all of that. So me personally, I don't think it'll last. Not for me.
You want to be a main chick and you fought so hard as a side chick to be a main chick to not trust him.
Well, you know what? When you the side chick, you feel like, I think it's like an adrenaline or something you get just being the side chick, right? Because you ain't gotta really be committed and whatever to this person. So you kind of can, do what you do. But sometimes we do fall for people, right? We fall in love and we do wish we can be the side chick and the main chick. But okay, she said not necessarily. So we're gonna let her say what she. Oh, okay. But no, I think sometimes you do feel like you've been in a relationship with the person you wish you could be that main chick. But I think it's just that illusion that you have because you're not the main chick. You want to be it, but because you're not. But then when you become her and you start being treated the way, you see what I'm saying? No. Me personally,
What do you think, Ms. V?
I remember a young lady once told me, and it ain't been that long ago, she said, I want to remain the side chick. Obviously, to me, that sounded nonsense. But she said, you keep on with all the responsibilities, all the headaches, washing for him, cooking for him, cleaning for him. And I'll just be here to just take his money, enjoy the ride. So you keep on. And listening to her, she wasn't talking to me per se, because it wasn't my man. But this is what she said, and I believe that there are so many people that feel like that. Why should I deal with all of the headaches that comes along with the marriage when I can just see you, love you, and leave you?
Yeah.
And leave all the others to somebody else. To me, I think it's a cheap escape, because now it's like you're getting leftovers to whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to classify yourself as just somebody's leftover.
Yeah.
And then once you become the main chick, now you wondering, is he doing to me the same thing he was doing to somebody else?
Right.
And now you having all of these issues that's going on, because now every time he don't do something, you thinking he's playing up to the same games.
Right.
I think life is too short and it's too precious.
Yeah.
To put yourself in a backseat driver.
Yeah.
Why would you get on the back seat and you the driver? You ought to be the main person in your life. No, if I can't be the main, and if I am the side chick, you better believe I don't know I'm a side chick. So no, I don't see that, but I guess to each his own.
Watching a TikTok, and I seen the lady told her and the gentleman, they was getting ready to go out and everything. And the man told her, I just quit my wife. I just left my wife for you. She said, I don't know why you did that. You better go get her back, because I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't know why you did that. So that made me think. We get into these relationships. We fight so hard to keep this man and want to spend time with him and do all this other stuff. But you're right. The responsibility of the wife is not there. You don't have to smell his feet at night, wash his clothes, cook his food, and all that other stuff, and take the bad habits, because they're going to show you a good side,
of course,
of what they can do opposed to what they really are on the other side. So I agree. If you went from a side chick to a main chick, you better watch out, because you ain't going to be there that long, or you ain't going to want to be there.
You ain't going to want to be there. Yeah.
In my opinion, you ain't going to want to be there that long, or you just, like you said, it's going to be some trust issues, some things that always flare up, unless you just don't care.
True. I have seen times where it's so many things you inspired to have until you get it.
You're right.
And then once you get it, you find out it's not what you
not all what
you
thought.
It's not all what you thought it would be. I tell some of the ladies sometime, I say, have you ever been in a position where you was window shopping, and so you window shopped, and then you love what it was in the window, but once you went inside the store, it ain't all what you thought it would be. And you find out that sometimes window shopping is sometimes deceiving.
Yes.
Until you get it.
Yes.
And you see the real side of it. So
like shopping on Temu.
I was just going to say
versus what you got.
I was just going to say that, because I ordered a jacket from Shein, and on the the pictures looked nice. The little model was model. I was like, oh, that is really cute. I'm gonna get that. I got that jacket home. It was just a dusty looking and dingy, and I said, nah, baby, we send in this back. And that's how it is in relationship. Yeah. You get that person you thought you want to be with him. You get with him, be like, this old dusty old scam booger. I don't want this man. You think you want him, like I said, because you don't really have him. But then when you get him, it's like, no, bro, you could go on back to her. I'm good.
Women, what you think? Is it easy going from being a side chick to a main chick? Would you rather do that, or would you just even want to be a side chick? Who want to be labeled that?
Yeah. What do you call a man if the women's is side chick? What's the man?
The sad dude, I guess. He the sad dude, right? He can't be a chick, so it got to be a dude or something. Like, that's my sad dude. That's my sad man, or whatever. What is the name of it, y'all? Don't say what you want. Well, y'all, I don't know what they thinking about.
But isn't that just like life? Women's are always being labeled.
Always.
And why is it that you always label the women?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they know I don't know. I'm just always gonna be on. I'm gonna be on the woman's side. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be on the
You
woman's
got
side.
your right. That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But you're right. We always label.
Yeah.
We talk to multiple men. We got to be labeled as
Mhm.
hoes. But the men can talk to multiple women, and bro, he a player. So why we can't be a player?
Yeah, you an old woman and you get you a younger guy. You a cougar. Yeah, he get one. Oh, he coming up. He got I know you a cougar.
I tell you, there's something though how society just label us. Why is that? Why we got to be labeled?
Yeah,
labeled as cougars. And when you get a yeah, well, I don't know. We all I was trying to reverse the ages, but it doesn't even matter because we're gonna have some type of label on us. Gold digger, something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what does a man call when he do that to a woman? Is he a gold digger?
Sugar mama or something.
Right, sugar. Well, that the sugar daddy, sugar mama,
yeah,
whatever.
Like that. Back in the day, wasn't nothing wrong with it.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with it now.
I don't know what you're back in the day.
If you can find you a good sugar daddy, baby, ain't nothing wrong with the sugar daddy.
Believe, baby, they looking for them younger than us.
Oh yeah,
or younger than y'all.
Ooh, child.
Oh, Lord, that brings us to the other one, because when you go through these type of things and you find out that life is not going the way you want it to go and things are not happening the way you go, and then that's when we start seeking out the Lord and we want to do things right in our lives and go on a different path, and then we're stuck with all that bad baggage that's filling up us and weighing our hearts down and our minds down, and we get so bombarded with life issues to there's mental issues. And a lot of times, and I wanted to see if we can discuss about mental issues in the church, because a lot of times we go to church every single day or every week, praising the Lord, and I was reading the statistic where pastors are taking their lives.
Oh yeah,
members are committing suicide. Like 2.27% of African Americans that's in the house of God, praising the Lord, committing suicide because of mental issues and because they're afraid to speak up about what they're going through or how they're feeling. They're afraid to go out and get therapy and help because of they're being judged and everything like that. And so I wanted to find out what's your thoughts on that. Do you think God still exists? Or if you in the church and you praising God and you got the faith and you believe that He can do anything but fail, but you're still going through. You're still depressed. You're still having mental issues. You're still having problems. Do you think you're a failure to God if you go and get a therapist?
No, I don't think you're a failure to God if you go get a therapist. I think what has happened with us, I would say in the Black community, is that we were not raised to seek therapy. Right back in the day, I don't even know if they knew of therapy or if therapy really assisted. What's the word? Existed, child. If therapy really existed back in the day, right? So if it didn't exist then, and then we come to now, if we were not taught or trained about therapy, how do we know to go to therapy? If back then it was always, because remember, it was always what goes on in this house stays in this house. Don't you tell this, don't you tell that. And it's like, but if I'm going through something and I need to talk to somebody, why am I holding it in? But that's what we were taught. And so even now, I would say you still can trust God, you can praise God, you can do all those things. We still have issues, right? We know God is a healer. He said He'll never leave us nor forsake us, right? He's there for us, but at the same time, we still human and we still go through human things on this earth. I feel like that's why He put therapists in position, right? God created everything. So I say He put them there for a reason. And I think, because at one point, I'm not gonna lie, people, you talk about depressed or whatever, I knew somebody who was, would talk about they was dealing with stuff. And, I was like, well, just pray, just pray, because that's what we taught to do. That's what we taught to say. Just pray. We not taught to, man, let me help you find a counselor. Let me help you find therapy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my eyes is really more wide open now. Especially going through this class or training that I'm going through, and we literally just got through talking about um, mental issues in the health, in our communities or whatever. So yeah. What's your thoughts?
I'm just listening.
Okay, she just listening. She just listening. What do y'all think out there?
And I feel okay. So a lot of times in the Black communities, in churches, in Hispanics, in whites, in communities as a whole, um, we are shunned upon with um, mental health issues, and that's why it leads to drug issues. It leads to hurt. People are succumbing pain that they've had since childhood because they don't know how to deal with that type of pain. They don't know how to speak it out because it's embarrassment. We were taught that you're embarrassed if this happened to you or that happened to you, or we got to cover up the family trauma of molestation and the abuse that most of the parents did. Beat the crap out of us. But anyhow,
I did too.
Some of that was abuse.
It sure was. You telling me go get a switch so you can whoop me with the switch? Like,
but it's been a lot of trauma in the communities, and then you go into the church, and they tell you that God is giving you the power to cast out spirits, to cast out demons, and He has. I believe He do give us the power. Or you get somebody prophesying over you and telling you not to do this and that. Everybody that's give you a word is not a word of God.
No.
So we have to know the difference.
You got some people prophesying, some people prophesy.
We have to know how to discern that.
That's true.
We are in the church. We are leaders. We are people who are pointing out to other people and giving them a word and laying hands. And how do you need help if you helping the helper? You the helper. How does the helper needs help? And how do you address that in churches and communities? How you address that in families? If you're the strong father, the strong mother, and you're weak at this moment, how do you show weakness to your children and say, I'm having issues, I'm having mental issues, I'm having a breakdown, I cannot take this any longer, I need help. How can we strengthen each other, or how can we come out of what we are in to just be vulnerable and say, I need help? How can we do that?
Yeah. I think too is we judge so much. We are so judgmental, right? And we make a person feel even worse. And that's I don't know. I just think as a race, it's not just a race, it's humans. We need a lot of help. Like, we need help because, again, when you're not taught certain things, and then, like, this is new to a lot of people too in our community. Therapy is new. So, I mean, to say I need help, of course, we feel embarrassed, like you said, especially if you're in leadership. You feel like I'm the man of God. I preach to these people every day. I'm not supposed to be weak. But I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it's a scary situation though, because it's really sad to hear about leaders like taking their lives. It's really sad, but at the same time, these leaders are human beings. That they human. They just got a title as a pastor, but they are still human, and they have the same problems as the lay members have, because we're all human. So,
yeah, it's a lot of things. I was trying to stay as quiet as possible. Well, I think that we're going back to label, because I think that a lot of people's label stuff, and it's not that who wouldn't need a psychiatrist? You can be a psychiatrist, somebody that just can pour out to, and you can be a secret keeper, where somebody can talk to in the midst of what they're going through.
yeah,
And that's what a lot of times people's problem is, they don't have anybody that they can talk to.
that's so true.
But if to label a person with mental illness and stuff, I think that's deep.
Yeah,
Because every one of us is go through a time in a situation where we feel like we could choke somebody.
oh yes,
So I mean, but I ain't gonna say I'm mental ill because I go through that.
right.
It's like we fall down and we just get back up.
Right.
Somebody said they mental ill just because they want to cash a check. So I mean, we is so quick to label stuff and to put
Yeah.
stuff on you.
Yeah.
And you got no. I'm. Not, I don't do that. I don't put no labels on people because trust me, you just probably be going through something.
Yes.
Who wouldn't be going through something? They just lost their son.
Right.
Who wouldn't be going through something with a man that you done built your whole world around in your life,
Yes.
and all of a sudden it's over?
Yep.
Who wouldn't go through something when you done look for to pass the test and you find out you failed?
Mhm.
Who would ever go through some stuff and you don't go through something?
Yeah.
You know, they said there are two mountains,
Mhm.
Ebal and Gershon. Those two mountains, they are on each side of them.
Yeah.
There's a thin line between hurt. It's a thin line between crying and pain and
Yes.
joy, sorrow.
Come
It's a
on.
thin line.
Yeah.
So any moment, because nobody know what the next day or the
Sure
next
don't.
minute is going to bring. Today it could be sunshine.
Mhm.
Tomorrow it could be rain.
Come on now.
And so if you fall down, you got to know how. And that's our problem. We turned away from the very thing that got us here. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. Back in the day, the people didn't do that. They didn't
Yeah.
talk about it because one thing they did, no, you're not gonna do that.
Mhm.
You're not gonna sit here and do that. You is bigger than this. You stronger than that.
Mhm.
But we turned away from the very thing that did got us here. We turned away from our old teaching. We turned away from our foundation. We turned away from the word of God. We
Mhm.
turned away from churches. We turned away from being strong. We turned away from that stuff. So now what you do, label me as weak, and I'm weak.
Mhm.
Give me medicine. Now I'm dependent on medicine.
Mhm.
Give me all of this stuff. And now all of a sudden, I don't want to do this. I want to cry. No.
Mhm.
Shut up and get out here and go out and get you a job.
Mhm.
No, stand up and be the man that God has called you to be.
Mhm.
You have to have somebody speaking those things to you.
Right.
But what happened is we pacify so much stuff. And I ain't saying that there's mental illness not out here. It is.
Mhm.
It's real. How is it that you're going to tell me that all of my life I've been with my children and now my mom, now you say, mama got mental illness? No, you better know when I got,
Mhm.
you better better know me better than that. You've been with back pat of the bell. You've been with me all my life and you don't know me by now?
Mhm.
It ought to be some stuff that you saw in me. Now something is wrong with her.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with you, sister. Come on.
Yeah.
But no, we too busy patting people. We too busy pacifying people. We too busy trying to tell them what they want to hear. To instead of you getting them say, no,
Mhm.
get yourself together. That ain't you. What are you going through?
But what if you having a hard time getting yourself together
Right.
and
It takes
you having a hard time, you having a hard time expressing yourself,
Mhm.
and yet and when you do try to express yourself, they say what you say,
Mhm.
get yourself
Get
together.
Yeah.
Right. Be
What
strong.
happens is
those for anybody. But see, that's why he said the shepherd would know his voice. You would know the voice of that who's speaking to you. Do you know that everybody is is looking for somebody? Everybody wish they had somebody they can lean on to feel comfort in.
Mhm.
And a lot of times you do fall down. But the problem is not the falling down. The falling is staying down. Because at some point, be like this prodigal son. You're supposed to come to yourself. Now, how do you come to yourself? I'm gonna tell you how.
tell me how.
You start to stirring up your memory. I didn't. If I'm 60 some years old and I have come through something. Yeah, I know you're looking, cause baby, I look good at 60 something. Yeah, I know. I know. I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. But at some point, out of these many years, something should have happened that, and when I fall down, I can say, look, wait a minute. I remember when I was raising 3 kids by myself and I didn't even know where my next meal was coming from. Wait a minute. When I was on a job and I lost that job, but God gave me another job. Wait a minute. So at some point, you have to get to a point where you can stir your own memory because you may not have nobody that can stir it for you. You have to get to a point that you stir your own self. And I don't know. I think everybody got it. Stir yourself. And if you ain't got nobody, and you should, I pray that you do. Because I ask myself all the time, how is it that we can have so many homeless people? Do they not have family? Do they not have sisters, brothers, cousins, mothers? I mean, do you have anybody that saw you in this position and was good with letting you stay there?
And sometimes you can have people that's good to want you to stay with them or they want to help you, but pride destroys us. We have so much pride. You've been up this long, and the very ones that you held up and you helped up, now you got to go down to them. and sometimes we get prideful that we don't want to go ask for their help. We rather try to do it on our own, suffer on our own. Or you got family members that say, come on in my house. Come on, stay with me. I'm going to feed you. And then get on the telephone and talk about you to everybody that come across the line. They get on that phone, talk about everything. You know I have to feed them. They ain't even have nowhere to go. I don't know how long they're going to be in my house. Oh, my God, they eating up all the food. Do you know my light bill went up and my water bill too?
Right. They're not making you welcome.
And now you feeling extra bad. You rather go sit on the curb. You better go sit on the curb, take a blanket, and stay out there until you can do better. And then when you're out there trying to do better, here goes society walking right past you, kicking you even more. Now your family done kicked you. Now you're out there. Now you got society kicking you. Now you're saying, Lord, what did I do to get in this position? Now mentally you're thinking, and it's not that you're crazy. But it's just so much just going on in your head. And some of this I'm speaking from experience. It's just so much that goes on in your head. So it's like a cloud of
darkness.
You have you ever seen that cloud when you're in school and they have that big old bubble and they got all them words in there that you got to remember? Everything is in that big old bubble at the same time. Now you got to remember the good with the bad, the ugly and the sweet, and you got to know how to decipher them. And at times it's hard to decipher.
That's true.
Because you got people that you trusted. It's hard to trust when you're going through.
Yeah.
And then that's why they go. I think that's why people go to a therapist, because it's a stranger.
Yeah.
You telling them your story, and they don't know you.
And it's a no judgment zone. They're not judging you.
Right.
Like you said, with people, a lot of times they will welcome you in, but it's you welcome me in, but yet you mistreating me. So you will feel like, well, shoot, I was doing better on the outside then. Even though it was cold and even though I ain't had nobody, I feel like I was doing better because I wasn't being judged. A lot of, and then too, you got to be careful because some people will bring you in, but it's like, what is your motive of bringing me in? Do you have a motive? You bringing me in to make yourself look good, to say, oh, I helped her get herself together. Oh, I helped her get back on her feet. If it wasn't for me letting her come to my house, she would have still been out there. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people have the wrong motive too to helping people. Right. And then I just want to piggyback to some of the stuff you were saying.
I know
like
you
you
can't go
saying,
back to what I already know it. Ain't no way you can go back to everything I've been
not
saying.
everything. No, I'm just was listening to what you were saying, right? And you were saying how we, everybody, we need to, pick ourselves up and, encourage ourselves. And that's true. It's good that we should be able to have that if we can, but everybody don't have that, unfortunately, that spirit in them or that strength in them to encourage themselves. So therefore they need encouragement from elsewhere. And if
that's good,
counseling or therapy is available, why not go and sit and help, get the help that you need?
I'm with you.
Because again, I feel like being able to talk to that person, it's a no judgment zone. I don't have to worry about you coming back 10 years from now saying what you did for me. And then I done just came up. I done finally got my breakthrough. I done finally got my deliverance. I'm free. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. And 10 years later, you come throwing something up, bringing all that old trauma back to me, where I don't need to hear that,
I think that if you got to have enough in you to know when your enough is enough, and that you need to go speak to somebody, to talk to somebody, and who better to know that? Because if you was already messed up and you already confused and stuff, is you gonna know that you got enough that to go get some help?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's like it's how far do you go before you realize, by any means necessary, I got to go get some help.
I got to get that help.
I got to get it.
And it doesn't matter what is and that's what we want our listeners to know, that you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be afraid.
That's true.
You can get the help that you need. A lot of times we just sit there in that darkness and in that spell of depression. We don't fight our way out because we just get complacent in where we are. But we don't have to be afraid. There's help out there. If you're going through some challenges, like one year I experienced so many deaths in my family, it was just overwhelming. And then not too long ago, it was just overwhelming. But I still was trying to encourage my family members, to still try to lift them up. But in the same time, I was falling. I was
Yeah.
feeling that pain. And then people look at you like you in ministry, you should be okay. No, it doesn't
But
work
that's
like
not
that.
true.
So I had to go and talk to somebody just to release myself and to free myself up so that I
Amen.
can be better for somebody else.
Right.
So we sometimes have to just release ourselves and free ourselves from what we feel. And we take, so as women and now the men. That's why so many men are, in my opinion, is turning to smoke. What that smoke stuff, loud stuff they doing, all these different weeds and all different kind of drugs because they don't know how to cope. They don't have coping skills, and they make drinking and drugging and all these other unknown activities. They make it seem like it's good when it's
When it's
all they're
not.
doing is doing a cover up.
Yeah, it's
All they're
covering
doing is
up.
covering up their pain. So
Yeah.
if you're going through some pain, if you're going through some things, it's best to try to get some help and get somebody you can trust. We all need that one trustful person
That's
in
so
our
true.
life that we can just pour out ourselves
That's so
to.
true. Yes.
I mean, you know, because
that's
I
true.
feel bad for our men.
Yeah.
Because they got to raise our boys, they got to raise our grandchildren,
Yeah.
our grandson, and we need stronger men. Women can do what they say, like we talked about women last week raising strong
Man.
men, but it's only so much we can do.
That's true.
It's only so
Yeah.
much.
And then I would say too, with our brothers, you know, a lot of men were taught not to cry. Men don't cry. Men don't, you don't supposed to feel your, feelings or whatever. And it's like, where did all these stupid sayings and rules come from? Honestly, where did they come from? Why do you feel like a man can't cry? Why shouldn't he be vulnerable? Why shouldn't he, seek help? I mean, he's a human being. Point blank, period. I don't care what his gender is. He's a human. Men hurt just like women hurt. They be stressed just like women be stressed. They be depressed just like women be depressed. I mean, think about if it's your son, right? You got a son and your son going through and he in silence. You gonna be trying to pick at that boy. What's wrong with you? Talk to me. Tell mama what's the problem. How can I help you? Tell me, son, what's wrong? So if we can do that with our son, why do we not feel like it should happen to to males, period? It should happen to them, period. They are human beings who seek help and need help just like we do. And a lot of times when they don't get it, they get angry, right? That's another thing. Abuse. They start being abusive because they going through stuff and they don't know how to let it out. So then they begin to take it out on maybe their spouse or their children, or just, become just these evil men in society. I feel like a lot of the reason why I people are doing some of the stuff they doing is because they got a lot of stuff going on. They probably never had the love that they need. They ain't never had the real guidance, because again, whoever that man was supposed to be raising them, maybe he had some issues and he couldn't do the fullest to raise him. So now it triggered to that young man, and it becomes a cycle. So what do we do, and how do we break this cycle over our community? And we need to be able to break the cycle. We got to find what we need to do and stop, like we're saying, stop putting these labels on. We because people going through stuff, we be like, oh, she crazy, oh, he crazy. But why are we putting that? We got to watch what come out of our mouth, because it's power, right? Life and death is in the tongue. It's power in the mouth, in the words. We got to watch what we say. So
when it comes to those, because I hear that a lot, that a lot of this, we got to break these generational curses and all that stuff. I hear that all the time.
mm-hmm.
And I tell mine, I said, well, when you was a child, you thought as a child, you act as a child, but at some point, you got to put away some childish things. You got to know that you got to fix you, or try to fix you, or find out what's about you, because you can't blame people's all your life. You at some point you got to say, no, this ain't about my mama, this ain't about my daddy, this is about me. Right. Now, when do you come there? When do you get to that point to stop? And I think that's a lot of key. I hear it. Well, my daddy was a drunk. Well, my mom, what? Yeah. But okay, you gonna be there because they was too. When you saw that situation, or you was going down a similar situation, at what point did you say, no, I can't do this? I'm not going to do this. Or you going to say, all right, just keep on going down the same road. I even think about that when you got all these people you raised up in the house, and they was drug dealers or drug users or whatever, and then you be the same thing. Well, this is what I saw, but you saw how I treated them, so you saw what it made them. At what point do we change the cycle? At some point, do you stop and say, no, I'm going to make it different? And I've seen that happen. Some said, I'm better than that. I'm not going to be that. Yeah. And then there's some that say, well, I'm going to be just what the young man told me. I ain't nothing. My daddy ain't nothing. And my mama ain't nothing. So I know I ain't going to be nothing. So I ain't trying.
Yeah. I mean, but
that is
he didn't have
exactly the thing he told me.
Yeah.
Exactly the thing he told me. And every now and then I even think about it, because that was when my kids was in school. I was in school, and I was saying to myself, I wished I could knew him today to see whatever became of him. Because for that type of attitude, to think that your generation or the generation before you determine yours is it's hardening. Mm-hmm. Because baby, you have access and the architect, and you can make the difference. You can make the change. I've sit in the rooms where there are first doctors being the first doctors, first engineers, first everything. Yeah. And you could be the first. Mm. So never cheat yourself to what's in front of you or what you can have. But who gonna tell you that? Who gonna speak that? There's peoples. I just think that sometimes we have to have it's got to be something inside of you. There's a power inside of you. And how do you bring that power out? How do you pull the power out? There is a will that succeeds a lot of things. Your will there are people that would have probably been gone. But they got, no, this is not going to happen. I'm not going, what do the words say? What does he say? I mean, there's some things you can speak it. So, I mean, I just think that we ought to stop letting the past dictate your future.
That is so true. And we have to speak up. We got to speak up. But we ask questions, like you say, you ask your son, what's going on? Try to get it out of them. They say, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. I'm okay. We have to teach them or just encourage people to just speak up. Talk. I used to be one of those shy ones, then held everything in. I ain't held nothing in now.
I can see. We can tell.
But it made a difference in my life. It freed me from so much because you hold stuff in so long and it starts building up on your heart and it overflows. And now people say you bad or you mean or you all kind of stuff about you. You mean because you're not talking and you just hold stuff in, or you just don't want to be bothered because you don't trust anyone. Now, it doesn't matter if I trust you or not. It matters that if I get it out of my heart in the right manner. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to talk to you any kind of way, but I'm not going to hold it in that you done hurt me or I'm hurting so bad. I'm going to need to get this out, because if I keep it in, then I'm going to hurt you for real. So we need to speak up, I believe.
I know that's one of the problems. They tell me that I talk too much. And when people say you talk too much, I agree with them. I said I really do. And anybody talk as much as me, you mess up sometimes and you say some stuff you ain't got no business. But most of the people that love you don't care. And the people that care, they don't matter. So I mean, you just gotta keep on trying to be you, and the people that love you are just loving you for real.
Who you are.
I'm fortunate, and I call it nothing but favor, that I'm in a circle of people that I believe love me. Okay. And if any of them and them that in that circle, they love me too. They just don't know they love me, but they love me. So I love that stuff, and I don't take it for granted. And I always tell them it's favor. Because God shines his light and his favor shines. And so sometimes even in my bad stuff, it can be covered because people love you. It covers some stuff when you're wrong and when you say stuff. And that's what it's supposed to do. We're supposed to be able to see the good, because trust me, it's some good it's some good, it's some bad in the best, and there's some good in the worst. Yeah. All we have to do is dig a little deeper. We can find it. I was going to tell something today, and I mean this, and I mean it for you guys that sits with me on these podiums and speak, is You can lose a lot of things. We lose our keys, we lose our phones, we leave our glasses, we lose everything. I just did it the other day. But in the midst of your losing, don't lose you.
Yes.
It's so many peoples and so many times in our life we lose a lot of things, and you can lose yourself easily by trying to be something you're not, trying to fit in where you don't belong, trying to follow out of something, trying to make something out of something. You don't never ever want to lose you. Lose it other stuff, but don't lose you in the midst of it.
You lose you, you lost.
You lost.
True.
So Wanda, don't lose.
I'm not gonna lose. Yeah. Not these last $2. I'm not gonna lose.
So let me ask this question though. What do a person do? Because some people do lose themselves, right? Some people do lose. They feel like I lost myself. I was in this relationship for years, this bad relationship, or I was in an abusive relationship. Just things we go through, and sometimes people feel like I lost myself when I was in that relationship, or I feel like I lost myself. So what should a person do if they are in that situation to where they just feel like they lost themselves? They feel like I don't know what to do. What do I do? So what will we say? What advice can we give somebody who is in that situation?
That's a good question. How do you not lose yourself?
Right. How?
See, the first thing of not losing yourself is to know who you is in the first place. I mean, I have been in situation and probably I'm gonna probably be in some more where you can be with, just say it's a man, and if you with a man, and I believe this because that's the one that's gonna find me.
Okay.
Because when he find me, he gonna find some favor. He didn't say that I was gonna. He said you gonna get some favor, and he didn't say the favor was gonna come from me. He gonna give you some favor. So find me when you find. I'm just talking to anybody out there in the radio world.
Right.
When you find me, you're gonna find some favor. But the whole thing is that it's when you know whatever comes and compliments you, make you. It's I got a cake already. Put a little cream on top. I don't need you to bake the cake. Just put a little. Right. When you find the person that want to be invested in you, he gonna make you better. Yeah. He gonna make you shine. He gonna say, baby, why you want to spit in when you've been born to stand out?
All right.
So you're gonna find some. So this person you won't have to make up nothing. You ain't got to be nothing. They said it all the time. Oh, you better do this if you want to keep them. You better fix up, you better. Oh, they tell me all the time. Put some makeup on. Fix your hair. The one that's meant for me, he gonna say, baby, I love you just the way you
are, honey.
They say they don't believe it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
Oh, I believe it, baby.
I told them they gonna find me in the grocery store with the regular pants on and I ain't even comb my hair. And gonna say like, you talking to me? Me? Yeah, you talking to me?
That happened a lot of times though. You found that person. My niece said that sometimes you can express yourself and the person only want to see things from their point of view. So it's like explaining to the wall because the reality they really don't understand or want to see why you feel their way towards them. So when you express yourself.
You can answer your niece, but I like that question because there are some people they've already done turned you off before you've been turned on.
Yeah,
it's just like a radio. I say, you can. I tell my kids this all the time. I don't care how many times you turn that knob off. When you turn it back on, baby, I'm gonna be still talking. So whatever one is turning me off, ain't no need of you turning me off because when you turn me back on, I'm gonna still be saying the same stuff.
Still gonna be talking.
And if that one cannot handle that type of talking, then maybe you need to readjust. Because sometimes we with people that was never meant for to be in the first place.
That's the truth.
And sometimes the one that is for you, he gonna say, "Come on, baby, bring us a little bit more."
That's the truth.
Give me some more of what you got. And I know I done been there. You trying to fit what something they say a small peg in a round hole. It don't work.
It don't fit. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to find out what works for you.
Yeah.
And we do that all the time. We just want to build this thing because we wanted to build. But some things it's not meant for you.
Mm-hmm. It
don't
fit.
You realize that there is something that's designed?
Yeah.
And when it's designed, the architect, it fits.
It fits. Yeah. It
fits. Yeah. I know anything that is designed, and I've said it all the time, whatever God has joined, it fits. You don't have to fake it. You ain't got to make it. You ain't got to beg, plead, borrow. You got to do none of that.
Right.
It just fits.
It fits.
And when you find they say, well, Vaughn, you ain't never allowed a man, you ain't never allowed a man to just be a man. Yeah, but when I find one, I will.
You can't find me. He got to find you.
He got to find you. Right. When he found you.
When he found me.
That's right.
Come
when
on,
he found you.
Keep it right. Keep it right.
He that found a woman, right?
Right. Don't worry about them expressing themselves.
That's
Allow you
it.
to express yourself because they might not even fit in your category. Right. They might not even fit.
I think women's are the gold mine. I really believe that. And if the men's listening, they know I'm telling you the truth. They knew it. If you a good woman and you find her, you will know it. And she about building you. Yeah, yes, a lot of things I said I ain't gonna do, and most of them I'm telling the truth. Mm-hmm. But the one that really is for you, he gonna know if she's building me. But if I fall, she'll catch me. You know, just like I said, that eagle takes the limb up and he takes it up so far. Mm-hmm. And then if I drop it, man gonna catch it.
Don't catch.
Oh, that ain't the way but I'm gonna take it up again and I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. I want to see if you still catch it. You want somebody that can catch you when you fall.
No matter how I go.
And when the man find you, he gonna find somebody that catches him. A good thing.
That's it.
And I'm telling you, and I don't believe there's nothing better. I'm sorry.
Amen.
I agree.
I know it to be true.
Damn.
Yeah, it's when you find it and you will know it.
Damn me, sugar. I'm here.
Yeah, she want to be found too.
She want to be found.
Of course, I want to be found. Damn me, sugar.
I be talking that stuff, and if one come up to find me, I'd be like, "Boy, I don't know what you're talking." I probably
find these women over here.
Which one you want? You want to be found or not?
I want to be found, okay. And I believe I will.
These are pearls. These are pearls. They are gems. You got to open that shell up and pull them out and look at them. They some good pearls over here. Come find these pearls in the ocean, baby.
You know what? I promise you, I always tell you guys, we don't know how fast this hour goes. It goes fast. Like, before you know it, we've already before we start, it's time to finish. I promise you. Last words. Let's wrap it up real quick. If you had the last words, Wanda.
I just want to thank everybody for chiming in. I see a lot of faces coming in. We appreciate your support. And also, just know that if you're going through anything, man, woman, or child, if you're going through anything, it does not hurt to get help. It does not hurt to speak about it. Don't hold that thing in until you explode. Get it out of you. Get it out in a positive way while you're feeling it. Talk to somebody. There's people to share with. There's therapists. Just talk about it.
Same as LaWanda said, if you're going through, I don't care who you are, woman, man, whatever, don't feel like you have to go through alone. It's help out there. If you feel like you don't have a close friend or a family member or whatever, find you a therapist. You can call, even if you call 311, they'll give you some information and phone numbers or whatever, so you can reach out, but just know that you don't have to go through alone. And know that you are somebody, God loves you.
And just last thing, there's no field play sitting on the sideline. No side chicks. Go
ahead. They said enough for us all. Love you. Come back Thursday. Y'all. We gonna be right here. Waiting on you.
We waiting on you.
See you next week.
Peace.
Same time. Same channel.
Peace.